My name is Marcia Jews. Welcome to STEM City USA's coverage of the Women of Color STEM Conference. Through all 3 days, we will be bringing you incredible interviews with inspiring STEM pioneers leading the way in industry, government, academia, and around the world. And now, please welcome our next guest.
Hi, my name is Rashmi Prasad, and I work as a staff research scientist at General Motors Energy Propulsion Systems Research Lab. I love my job, where I get to pioneer innovations exclusively for GM's electric and autonomous future. Let me tell you one interesting fact that I am very proud of. I hold the Guinness World Records achievement for Hindu religious chanting.
Welcome to the Women of Color television. And we are here in the year 28, and we're so excited that we're here with Rashmi Prasad, who is a distinguished staff research scientist at General Motors Global R&D Department. Dr. Prasad is one of the company's leading experts in electric vehicle propulsion systems. She is a strategic servant leader and lifelong learner who currently leads a global team to create and research cutting-edge technologies for future electric vehicles that positively influence the well-being of people by lowering carbon footprints while making them commercially viable. She is a recipient of multiple company-wide and industry recognitions and honors like the GM Boss Kettering Award for Outstanding Innovation. As technology leader and STEM supporter, she continues to mentor young people, showing them the wonderful opportunities that STEM learning can bring. Dr. Prasad holds an MS and PhD in power electronics from the University of Minnesota, two cities, and an MBA from the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign. She and her husband are settled in Michigan with their two lovely daughters. Welcome, Doctor. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. That was a long one. I didn't know I had so many things to talk about.
Well, it's because you've done a lot of work, right? So we're here to celebrate that this weekend.
Thank you.
So tell us how you got into technology and to the point where you're now a doctor. You've gotten your doctorate. What took you on that path?
So my dad is actually a civil engineer, and I think the roots came from him. Since then, I have 3 other siblings, and my elder sister, she also went into engineering. So I was like, okay, it automatically kind of motivates you to go to engineering. I'm like, okay, I enter my bachelor's. And then just like everybody else, I come out of bachelor's and I'm like, okay, now I do a job. And 2 years into job, I realized I wanted something else, something more. It was not enough for me. It was not giving me the happiness or the passion that I wanted out of my job. And that's when I thought, okay, I should pursue something that I like. And that's where I decided to pursue my PhD in power electronics. And I came to US to do that, University of Minnesota. And I had I don't know, it was a blessing in disguise, I should say, that I got the best professor that I could have got, which was Professor Ned Mohan. He's an Indian too, but he really encouraged us. I remember the first time, it was a 2 years break for me, from my studies to back to studies again, because I worked for 2 years. And then the very first test that I went in my class, I got a 1 on 10. That was my very first day and very first test. And I was like, okay, I think this was a wrong move. I went to my advisor and I'm like, okay, maybe I shouldn't be here. And then he's like, no, give yourself time. I do see potential. And he was right, because by the end of that particular course, I aced an A. So I think that's that kind of having the support through your advisors, your mentors, and your family, I think that's what takes you to the pinnacle of wherever.
And as you moved through this process, were there any challenges along the way that you had to overcome, or any experiences that had a nuance that you hadn't familiarized yourself with?
I think one of the challenges was when you come from a middle class family, right? It's all you want to make sure is that you have the apart from the education, you want to use that education and make sure you get a living, you earn a living. And to get that quick is like everybody wants to earn money quick. So once I went into college, and it was like, okay, I have to get a job because I need to earn. But then once I started earning, people did not think much about, okay, you should like your job. But I was of the idea that I should like my job, because I believe that most of our life, we are like half of our life, or maybe even 70% of our life, we are in office, and you should really love what you do. Otherwise, it's not good enough. And that's where I was like, so this concept was new for most people, because they were like, you just do your job and that's what it is. But I was like, no, I want more. And that's when I kind of challenged myself and then moved on to do PhD and further research.
So how did your peers and your family, since this is a change, right? How did they take you making this decision that, yeah, I'm not doing that path, I'm doing this path over here? How did that work for you?
Actually, my family was very supportive. My parents, they really they've always believed in education, and they believe that if you can impart education to your kids, you know that you've given them the right tool to progress in their career. And they did not have any qualms. The only thing they were like, you will have to earn a scholarship. We don't have the money to send you abroad,
Right.
but if you earn a
A
scholarship,
lot of households are there,
yes.
right.
As long as you get a scholarship, you are welcome to go whichever university takes you. And that's when my elder sister, she helped me through the application process, and that's where I was able to get through a few colleges, and I was able to earn a scholarship as well.
I love it. But that takes a lot of nerve to make that kind of decision, and you were really focused. Talk about how you processed that to make certain that you were going to go down the right path that you wanted to go down.
So it did not happen in a day. I should be very honest. Initially, I thought, okay, this is not what I want when I was working, and then I was like, okay, I will do furthermore, because I like challenges. I don't like to do the same thing repeatedly, even though it makes you better at what you do. But it's always good to have something new so that you look forward and look forward to what the next day will bring. And so I thought of, okay, I will pursue further studies, and that's what I started with. And then once I reached my university, I was like, okay, maybe they typically have this initial exam where you qualify. If you qualify, then you get through the doctoral process. And I was like, okay, and I was one of the first ones to actually give it in the second semester. Typically, people do it in the second year. And I did it in the first year itself, because I was like, I want it out of my way, whether I'm going forward or not. And thankfully enough, I was able to clear that, and that set my path. Okay, I'm doing a PhD now because I am qualified to do that. And that's when I went ahead. And once I joined GM as a researcher, I actually, after like 5-6 years of work, I was again like, okay, I want to broaden my horizon, want to know more. There are things that I don't know, mostly on the business side, the finance side. And that's when I was like, even though I'm working and we had a lot of work, I was like, I still want to pursue my MBA. And so even though it's not the best combination, PhD with an MBA, people don't see that often. I was like, no, but I still want to do it.
Right.
And I went ahead and finished my MBA just so that I could learn more on the business side and one day maybe use it.
Okay, and so one day maybe use it, because right now we got it in the pocket though, right?
Yes. Yes, right now I have it in the pocket.
I got it in the pocket. So when you look at all of the work that you had done to get to this place, what are the highlights of your journey?
So the highlights of my journey. My journey in GM, I would say it started with me entering in 2011 as a researcher under in the Propulsion Systems Research Lab. Actually, at that time it was named differently, but my manager was Tom Neal. He encouraged me. He welcomed me in. There were no other girls in that team then, so I was the first, and I was happy to be there. Happy that at least they'd given me an opportunity, a chance. And when I actually interviewed for that, I was so the day I interviewed, 2 hours after that, I went into labor. So that's at the edge that I was. I was expecting at that time, and it was like it was so. I didn't expect to be interviewed, but it so happened. And then finally they came back saying, okay, you clear the first round. And then I went ahead and went for the interview later on. So I got my small daughter, and I was like, okay, and I'm going for the interview now. But
Excuse me 1 second, sir. I got to run out for a minute. I'll be right back.
Yep, sure.
I love it.
But they were very they really did not create any issues. They were like very welcoming of that fact, and that gave me the intuition that GM always supports family and helps you develop that. It's not like you have to give up your family to improve your career. It all goes hand in hand. And so I went ahead with that, and I was able to clear it, so that didn't cause an issue. Once into it, yes, I had to. I had mentors who helped me up, like senior people.
Okay.
And it helped me. Then what they encouraged me. So in GM, one thing I know: if you really want something, you have all the opportunities to get it, and they encourage that you go out, show yourself out there. There is no hand holding or spoon feeding, because that doesn't help you grow.
Right.
So and that's what they taught me. So I could go out to my immediate customers. So for research, the advanced team, the product teams, they become customers, and I could go reach out to them and look for any problems they have which they needed help with, and I could assist them so that they could improve the portfolio or put new ideas into them. So doing that, I was able to get some awards. As was highlighted, we had the Research and Development Shark Tank Award, where you bring new ideas. And I remember at that time, Mark Royce was the judge, and our CTO, John Lochner. And somehow we were able to bag, I was leading that particular innovation challenge idea, and somehow we bagged the first award.
I love it.
That's where everything came into limelight, and I'm so happy to say that that idea, where it started there, I was able to put that into Hummer, and it's right there working in Hummer today.
Wait,
so
with the Hummer vehicle?
yes,
I love
Hummer
it.
vehicle. So it makes me feel proud to say
Yes.
that yes, I can see what I did.
Yes,
and
because that
it's
was a big hot product that came out
Yes,
from General
yes.
Motors.
Yes, and it's something that's loved by everybody.
Yes.
So I feel proud that I was part of
That team.
something there, of that
Yes.
team, which was able to get that into that. So I think that, and then followed by, I had several other Shark Tank awards that through several years, and then finally I got the Boss Kettering Award, which is the GM. So they have this annual award where they pick an outstanding innovation and they award it. So it's a company-wide award, and I was able to get that for 2021 for the Hummer EV again. So again, I was I think those are some of the highlights. And since then, I've been working with a lot of teams, a lot of people, all these young folks, mentoring them. And it's been a great journey so far. But I have 2 kids, both are daughters.
I love it.
And I have been training, I shouldn't say training, if they heard it, they wouldn't like that word. But I've been encouraging them to go into STEM, and I do see their potential. So I did coach for FIRST Robotics, and then now I'm coaching for the Science Olympiad. And then I also go teach in the middle school, Pontiac Middle Schools, as part of the SAE initiative. So I'm trying to do my part in giving back to the community.
And you are. Girl, how do you balance all of this?
I guess, again, I think it comes back to what you really want and what passion you have. And of course, it is never, you can never do anything without your family support. So I think that's where the main the main enablement factor would be, that I get support from my family, and then I have that in my heart to actually do something.
Well, that's clear. That's really
Thank
clear.
you.
That the work that you're doing in the community and internally with your corporation, not to mention now your family. So you have this trifecta. What is it? Trifecta. Right?
Yes.
You have a trifecta that you're balancing. How does that work for you on a daily basis? Because each of them are huge in their own right.
Yes. And for that, I think there are several people who help me maintain that balance. I should thank my husband. His name is Deepak, and he is the one who, if I'm coming for a job and if he is at home, he'll take the responsibility of dropping the kids somewhere. Or if I'm late, oftentimes I do testing in the lab and it gets late for me to return home, and kids might have a class. But he is there and he is ready to take the kids to whatever it is. I know there was once I came at 9 o'clock in the night because we were so engrossed in doing a lab test. And so in times like this, I think he's my greatest support. And then my kids, they know the kind of they know that whenever I get the chance, I am with them. I attend all their events. So
wonderful.
some days, if I'm not able to make it, they are okay with it, and they are proud of the fact that I work at GM and all the work I do, and they associate with that because they can understand. And apart from that, my manager, I had two managers during my stay, Tom Neal and then Jim Bergerson, and both have been really, really supportive. So
that's important.
That's really important because they don't force you. Okay, come at this hour. You cannot go out of the building before this time. Those kind of restrictions are not there. As long as you do your work, you are. It's okay, and it helps us to maintain our work and family life.
Well, that's huge. Give us three things that you would say to a young mother who's coming out of, education, and she's now going into work. Give us three things to talk about for her work-life balance.
So I think the first thing is take care of yourself, I would say, and feel that you are priceless and unique, and try to think what is it that you actually want. And it need not be some people just like being at home. Some people want to be a homemakers, and some people they're really ambitious and want a big hand in their career. So the first step would be to figure out what you actually want. And once you have that in mind, I think the world kind of helps you attain it as long as you have that will. So the second thing would be, once you figured out what you want to do, now you figure out the path, the ways, and take small steps. That's okay, but take small steps and figure out what is it that you can do have milestones. Okay, next 2 years, maybe I should accomplish this. Next 5 years, I can accomplish this. And having those small milestones helps us gain confidence, and seeing them to completion makes us feel happy, so that, okay, one thing is done, maybe I can do more. And I think that's important. And then the third thing is never think that you have to give up your family life for your I would encourage all women, all young women also to. There's no, if you need little time with your family, if there is something going on at home, feel free to tell at your workplace or tell your manager. And I bet now with the kind of diversity encouragement and the place that women have at the workplace, I think everybody understands, and they try to give you that opportunity to take care of your family as well as your career. So I think those would be my prime three things.
I think those are huge, and hopefully people will hear this and be able to take those nuggets with them. And as you look into the future, give us the next three things that are on your to-do list.
Oh, that's difficult. It's difficult to just limit them to three.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know how much longer we have for you to be here for a couple of hours, because you are a very active, busy woman.
Yep. So the prime three things would be, first, that I need to do. So right now, what I see is there are few girls who I see really motivated towards core engineering, I would say. So similar to engineering fields, but core engineering people. I see my daughters growing up, and I see that the way they assess is how much does it earn, or is that the best? So do I get recognition? And those are the things that happen in their minds, and I feel that. That's something that I want to encourage and work with those young girls, and even any young minds, I should say, and try to teach them how STEM can be really motivating, and you can really feel happy if you work in those things, if you have that particular inclination towards those kind of I don't know, maths, physics, science, all your STEM fields. So that's one thing on my list. The second thing would be, in terms of my career, I really want to be able to contribute. I have been contributing all this time, but the more I can, that's where I see my success. As the more I can contribute and help GM in its vision, be a successful, be a good, be a leader in this EV field. I think that would be my next highlight. And then the third thing would be to take care of my family, make sure I give my daughters good education, and I am there for them as they navigate through the middle school and higher elementary school, and get them through high school in good form and happily. So I think those are my three prime.
All right. Dr. Rashmi Prasad, thank you so much. Congratulations on your award. And we look forward to seeing you. Have to come back next year. Now you're part of the family.
Yes, sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you
Marsha.
very
It
much.
was a pleasure.
All
Thank you.
right. Take care.